Right, let's talk about making a scene. In the world of electric cars, you've got companies that shout from the rooftops, they make massive promises, fill social media with flashy videos, and their bosses are practically celebrities. Every new idea, every tiny tweak, is announced with the kind of fanfare you'd expect for the invention of the wheel itself. It's all very exciting, very loud, and it certainly gets your attention. You see them everywhere talking about revolutionizing the planet, one incredibly expensive, headline-grabbing car at a time. They are the rock stars of the automotive world, and they want you to know it. But then there's another way, a quieter way, the way of Hyundai. While other brands have been soaking up the limelight, Hyundai has been in the garage, with the doors shut, quietly getting on with the job. They haven't been shouting about their every move. Instead, they've been working, methodically and brilliantly, on something that could genuinely change the game for good. It's less about making noise and more about making progress. This isn't a company obsessed with its own reflection, it's a company obsessed with engineering. They've been putting in the hard yards, focusing on the difficult stuff, the really complex science that doesn't make for a catchy tweet, but will absolutely transform our future. This approach is classic Hyundai. It's the same spirit that took them from being a relative unknown to a global powerhouse. They don't just jump on the bandwagon, they build a better one while no one is looking. Their work on solid-state batteries is the perfect example. While the world was distracted by self-driving hype and ever larger infotainment screens, Hyundai's engineers were tackling the biggest challenge of all, the battery. They knew that the key to unlocking the true potential of electric vehicles wasn't more gadgets but better, safer, and more powerful energy storage. A breakthrough here would be the real revolution, not just another press release. And now, as we stand here in 2025, it looks like their quiet dedication is about to pay off, and in a massive way. The secret weapon they've been developing is ready to be revealed, and it's not just an improvement, it's a complete step change. This isn't just about making their cars a bit better, it's about fundamentally rewriting the rules of electric mobility. Forget the hype and the noise from the usual suspects. The real story, the one that will define the next decade of driving, has been unfolding silently, diligently, in the research labs of Hyundai. And it's about to get very, very loud. To really understand how Hyundai pulled this off, you need to look at where they came from. This isn't a company born from Silicon Valley billions or a century of automotive aristocracy. Hyundai's story starts in post-war South Korea, a country rebuilding itself from the ground up. In 1947, Chung Ju-young founded the Hyundai Engineering and Construction Company. The name Hyundai means modernity, and that's exactly what he was trying to build. Cars came later. First, they built bridges, ships, and buildings, the very foundations of a new nation. This background in heavy industry and engineering gave them a unique DNA, tough, resilient, and incredibly ambitious. When the Hyundai Motor Company was founded in 1967, it was an underdog. Its first cars, like the Pony, were simple, affordable, and built to be dependable. They weren't glamorous, but they worked. For years, Hyundai was seen as a budget brand, the sensible choice for people who cared more about reliability than brand prestige. They had to fight for every bit of market share, competing against established giants from Japan, Europe, and America. This constant battle forged a culture of relentless improvement. They couldn't rely on a famous badge, so they had to rely on quality, value, and a determination to out-engineer the competition. The turning point came in the 2000s. Hyundai decided it wasn't enough to be just a budget brand. They invested billions in design, technology, and quality control. They hired top European designers and engineers, and the results were staggering. Suddenly, Hyundais weren't just reliable. They were stylish, packed with technology, and genuinely desirable. Cars like the Genesis sedan and the i30N hot hatch showed the world that Hyundai could compete with the very best and win. They climbed the quality surveys, won awards, and earned the respect of drivers and critics alike. They had completed one of the most remarkable transformations in automotive history. This journey from a construction firm to a world-leading car manufacturer is crucial to understanding their EV strategy. When the electric revolution began, Hyundai didn't just dip its toes in the water, it dived in headfirst, applying that same spirit of relentless engineering and ambition. They launched the Ioniq, the first car in the world to offer hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and all-electric versions on a single platform. Then came the Ioniq 5, a car that didn't just look like it was from the future but had the technology to back it up. They were laying the groundwork, piece by piece, for their biggest leap yet, mastering the solid-state battery. So, why all the fuss about solid-state batteries? What makes them the holy grail of electric power? To put it simply, they solve almost every problem that current electric car batteries have. Imagine a battery that could power your car for over 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. Imagine recharging that battery from nearly empty to full in the time it takes to grab a coffee. And imagine that this battery is fundamentally safer, less likely to overheat, and will last for the entire life of the car without losing its performance. That's not science fiction, that is the promise of solid-state technology. Let's break it down. The key difference is right there in the name, solid. The batteries we use in our phones, laptops, and current EVs are lithium-ion. They have two solid parts, a positive and a negative electrode, but in between them is a liquid or gel-like substance called an electrolyte. This liquid is what allows the electric charge to move back and forth. The problem is this liquid electrolyte is flammable, it's also bulky, and can form spiky structures called dendrites during charging, which can cause short circuits and, in rare cases, fires. It's the weak link in an otherwise brilliant piece of chemistry. Solid-state batteries get rid of that troublesome liquid completely. They replace it with a super thin layer of a solid material, like a ceramic or a polymer. This solid electrolyte still allows ions to pass through it, but it does so more efficiently, and crucially, it's not flammable. This simple change has enormous consequences. Because the solid electrolyte is stable and acts as a barrier, it prevents those nasty dendrites from forming. This immediately makes the battery much, much safer. You can push more energy into it and get more energy out of it without the risk of it overheating or catching fire. This enhanced safety and stability unlocks a whole new level of performance. With the liquid gone, you can pack the battery cells closer together, making the entire battery pack smaller and lighter for the same amount of power. Or you can keep it the same size and cram in far more energy. This is what we call higher energy density, and it's the key to longer range. It also allows for mind-bogglingly fast charging speeds. Without the risk of the liquid electrolyte degrading, you can pump electricity in at a much higher rate. This is the technology that will finally make EV charging as quick and convenient as filling up with petrol. Let's put today's lithium-ion batteries head-to-head with Hyundai's new solid-state tech. It's kind of like comparing a trusty old propeller plane to a modern jet fighter. Both will get you off the ground, but one is in a completely different league. The biggest and most obvious difference is range anxiety, that nagging fear that you'll run out of juice miles from a charger. A top-tier EV today might give you 500 or maybe 600 kilometers on a perfect day. Hyundai's solid-state batteries are set to smash that, pushing past the 1,000-kilometer mark. That's London to Geneva on a single charge. It's a game-changer that makes long-distance electric travel completely stress-free. Then there's the matter of safety, which is, absolutely paramount. Lithium-ion batteries have a generally good safety record, but the risk of thermal runaway, a chain reaction where a battery overheats and catches fire, is always a concern for engineers. It's why EVs have complex and heavy cooling systems. The liquid electrolyte is the culprit. Solid-state batteries, by replacing that flammable liquid with a stable solid, are inherently safer. They are far more resistant to high temperatures and physical damage. This doesn't just give drivers peace of mind, it simplifies the entire battery pack design, making it lighter and less complex, which further improves the car's efficiency. Charging time is another massive win for the solid-state team. We've all seen the queues at charging stations. Even the fastest chargers today can take 20 to 30 minutes to add a significant amount of range. Solid-state batteries can handle much higher currents, slashing that time dramatically. We're talking about going from 10% to 80% charge in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. That's a revolutionary improvement. It makes the EV ownership experience almost identical to that of a petrol car. You pull in, plug in, and by the time you've paid and stretched your legs, you're ready to go with hundreds of kilometers of range added. Finally, we have to talk about lifespan and environmental impact. Lithium-ion batteries degrade over time. They lose their ability to hold a full charge after several hundred cycles. Solid-state batteries are far more durable. They can withstand thousands of charging cycles with very little degradation, meaning they could last for over 1,000,000 kilometers. This means the battery will likely outlive the car itself. This longevity, combined with a simpler manufacturing process that uses fewer rare materials like cobalt, makes them a more sustainable choice. Less mining, less waste, and a longer useful life. It's a win for your wallet, and a win for the planet. To truly appreciate the scale of Hyundai's breakthrough, we need to take a quick trip back in time. The idea of storing electricity is not new. It all started way back in 1800 with Alessandro Volta and his voltaic pile. It was basically a stack of copper and zinc discs separated by cardboard soaked in salt water. It was the first true battery, but it wasn't exactly portable or powerful. It was a brilliant scientific curiosity, the first tiny spark that would eventually lead us here. For most of the 19th century, batteries were big, messy, and not rechargeable. They were fine for powering telegraphs, but you couldn't run a car on them. The first big leap forward came in 1859 with the invention of the lead-acid battery, the first ever rechargeable battery. It's a technology so robust that we still use a version of it to start our petrol and diesel cars today. It was revolutionary but also incredibly heavy and filled with corrosive acid, not ideal for much else. The 20th century brought us more portable options like nickel-cadmium and nickel-metal hydride batteries. These powered the first generation of mobile gadgets, from Walkmans to chunky mobile phones. They were a step up, but they suffered from a memory effect, where they'd lose capacity if not fully discharged before recharging. The modern era was truly born in the 1980s with the work of scientists like John Goodenough, Stanley Whittingham, and Akira Yoshino, who would later win a Nobel Prize for their efforts. They pioneered the lithium-ion battery. By using lightweight lithium, they created a battery that was powerful, rechargeable, and had a high energy density. It was this invention that enabled the portable electronics revolution. Without lithium-ion, there would be no smartphones, no laptops, and certainly no modern electric cars. It was a monumental achievement that changed the world. But even this brilliant technology has its limits, as we've discussed. For the last 2 decades, the entire industry has been trying to find the next big thing, a battery that keeps the benefits of lithium-ion but ditches the drawbacks. This is where solid-state technology comes in. It's not just an incremental improvement, it's the next chapter in the story of the battery. It represents a fundamental shift, much like the move from lead-acid to lithium-ion was. Hyundai, by cracking the code for mass-producing reliable solid-state batteries, isn't just building a better car, it's writing the next page of history, standing on the shoulders of giants like Volta and Goodenough. This all sounds very impressive from a technical standpoint, but what does it actually mean for you, the everyday person? The impact will be enormous, and it goes far beyond just car enthusiasts. The biggest change is freedom. The freedom from range anxiety, the freedom from long charging stops, and ultimately, the freedom to choose an electric car without any of the compromises that have held people back. Imagine buying an EV that is not only cheaper to run than a petrol car, but is just as convenient. That's the future Hyundai is building. The conversation will no longer be about whether an EV can fit into your life, but why you would choose anything else. Cost is another huge factor. Initially, new technology is expensive, but Hyundai's plan is different. Their solid-state design is simpler to manufacture. It requires fewer components, no complex liquid cooling systems, and potentially less of the expensive and ethically complicated materials like cobalt. As they scale up production, the cost per battery is expected to fall dramatically, becoming significantly cheaper than current lithium-ion packs. This will lead to more affordable electric cars. We're talking about family hatchbacks and SUVs with a 1,000-kilometer range that cost the same as their petrol equivalents. This is the tipping point where EVs become the default logical choice for everyone. Then there's the sheer convenience and peace of mind. The ultra-fast charging capability changes the entire ownership proposition. A quick stop at a service station will be just that, quick. You'll be on your way in minutes, not sitting around for half an hour. The superior safety of solid-state batteries also adds an invaluable layer of security for you and your family. Furthermore, the incredible longevity of these batteries means you might never have to worry about battery replacement. The battery will maintain its health and performance for hundreds of thousands of kilometers, preserving the car's resale value and reducing long-term ownership costs. Beyond the car itself, this technology will ripple out into other areas of our lives. The same powerful, safe, and compact batteries could be used for home energy storage, soaking up cheap solar power during the day to power your house at night. They could power electric aircraft, making short-haul flights cleaner and quieter. They could be used in heavy-duty electric lorries, cleaning up the air in our cities. Hyundai's breakthrough isn't just about cars. It's about creating a better, more efficient, and more sustainable way of using energy in every aspect of modern life. It empowers us all to be part of a cleaner future. A revolutionary battery is one thing, but having a plan to build it at scale and get it into the hands of millions of people is another. This is where Hyundai's global strategy sets them apart. They are not just a research lab, they are a manufacturing titan. The company has been quietly investing billions of dollars in building a complete end-to-end supply chain for their solid-state technology. This means securing the raw materials, building brand new gigafactories around the world, and developing the infrastructure needed to support these next-generation vehicles. They are playing chess while others are playing checkers. Their strategy is global from day one. Hyundai has already announced plans for major battery production hubs in key markets like North America, Europe, and Asia. By building the batteries where they build the cars, they reduce logistical costs, avoid messy tariffs, and create a more resilient supply chain. This is a lesson learned the hard way by many industries during recent global disruptions. While competitors are still scrambling to secure lithium-ion supplies, Hyundai is a step ahead, building the factories of the future. This vertical integration gives them immense control over quality, cost, and output, allowing them to scale up production far more quickly than rivals who rely on third-party suppliers. The plan also extends to the charging infrastructure. A car that can charge in 5 minutes is no use if the chargers can't deliver that power. Hyundai, through its partnerships and investments, is actively working to roll out a new generation of ultra-fast charging stations capable of supporting its solid-state technology. They see the car, the battery, and the charger not as separate things but as one integrated ecosystem. This holistic approach ensures that customers will be able to enjoy the full benefits of the technology as soon as the cars hit the road. It's a comprehensive, forward-thinking plan designed to eliminate any bottlenecks and accelerate the transition to electric mobility. Ultimately, Hyundai is positioning itself to be the leader of the next automotive era. Their solid-state revolution is the culmination of decades of quiet ambition and hardcore engineering. It promises to deliver EVs that are cleaner, safer, longer-ranging, and more affordable for everyone. By taking a long-term view and meticulously building a global production and infrastructure network, they are not just preparing for the future, they are actively shaping it. For the next 10 to 15 years, while others are still trying to catch up, Hyundai will be busy delivering on the promise of a truly electric world. It's a bold, brilliant plan, and it's already in motion.